Yisrael Hashem Chevra, the Kavod Shabbos, L'chu Neranana. It's Wednesday. We have 130 days until Hanukkah. We all know 100. No, we have 2 until Shabbos, Baruch Hashem, and we have 46 until Rosh Hashanah. Baruch Hashem. So it's Tefillah B'Shem Kol Yisrael. For Pesach, Reuben ben Yosef Asar Baruch Bas Yehudis Miriam Dodi Bas Chaim and Feved Yonah Bas Bas Shir Bas Bas Sinai Reuben ben Bani and every neshama in Klal Yisrael. Words hot as burning coals, loving God, inspire us and open our hearts so we can pray to you with all of our heart and soul. Let us pour out our hearts to you like water and constantly vent our innermost feelings and offer you our prayers with perfect sincerity, pleading and supplicating until your love for us will be stirred. Arouse your compassionate heart towards us and send words as hot as burning coals from the supernal heart. As it is written, my heart is hot within us, or within me, within us. As we ponder with burning fire, we speak with our tongue. Let us always pray with the holy fervor and passion. Let all of our words be like coals of fire. And through this, help us draw Torah and teachings from the supernal heart. We're going to finish off with prayer. Let us constantly develop new Torah ideas and interpretations, true, holy ideas that will arouse delight and favor before your throne of glory. Ideas in which you will take pride in all the worlds. Master of the world, master of the entire universe, Lord of all. You know the precious beauty of our holy soul at its root. So holy is our soul that at its root, that we should be constantly inspired with new Torah ideas, interpretations. This was what we were created for. But because of our many sins, we have become so distant from you that it is hard for us even to ask you to help us in this. Our face is covered with a veil of shame that stops us from praying that we should be able to develop true Torah ideas. We don't know what to ask for first. Bezrat Hashem Chevra, we should always know. We should always know what to ask for and what to thank Hashem for, mamish. And wow, Chevra, we're here. 25 halachas in the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch for laws of mezuzah, and we're on the last one, 25. And we're not saying we're at the end, but we could say we're accomplishing, and Bezrat Hashem will return, as we know in Rabbeinu. The way to go about this, just constantly review, goes from simplistic to not even understanding to understanding a little bit more, good thought, that we go through it. So halacha l'maaseh halacha b'shem kol Yisrael. A mezuzah of an individual must be checked. Again, a mezuzah of an individual must be checked. What does this mean? To make sure that they were not stolen from their containers or worn out or torn, or to make sure that all the letters are still intact. Twice every 7 years we should do this. And a mezuzah of the public, right? So mezuzah of the public is those in the gates of courtyards, provinces, and cities. upon whom it is difficult to place a burden, right? If the community's obligations become burdensome, no one will attend to them, right? So it shouldn't be burned. Must be checked twice every Jubilee cycle. That is twice every 50 years. See the Rosh and the end of Hilchos Tefillin. Wow. So just good to know. Halacha l'maisa, Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Ahavat Yisroel. We're on the fifth Nakuda of Achdut from Rav Shemayim Morgenstern and Shlita Bezrat Hashem. He starts up by saying Kol Hishpaus Sheba Olam Taloim Kafi Midat HaAchdut. All the hashpa in the world, all the influence, all the world, all the effects is dependent on the midah of Achdut, Chabra. And we all know from the teachings of Rav Shemayim what that means, how to get to Achdut, the whole thing. Aval rak Achdut shehi im bitol Hashem yisbarach. Actually, Achdut, what do we mean by Achdut? Achdut was bitol towards Hashem, towards the Creator of the world. The ofen sha'aktu tigale et or yichud Hashem, right? So through this, Achdut will be able to reveal the unique light of the Ribono Shel Olam. Wow, this is big. How can we better understand this, Chevra? How can we understand the hashpa of the world is through Achdut? And we know this from Reb Shaila. If you guys don't have the book, Reb Shaila, I highly recommend. And I just saw this Maisa right before we got on. And it goes like this. Everybody knows the kitchen staff. Well, first of all, Reb Shaila and his town, Karastir, was all about Shabbos. And the kitchen staff of the Rebbe's home was treated as family members. And we all know that from another story from Ramalach Vajinsk and his kitchen staff. And we'll read that another time in the Lamed Vav. So central as they were to the special vote of the court, the Rebbetzin, who led the kitchen staff by example, would hire orphan girls to join the group. This is Reb Shaila's Rebbetzin. Once, one of the girls became a Kala, and Reb Shaila and his Rebbetzin assumed responsibility for the wedding expenses. Literally, because they were like the Rebbe's children. The Chasana was held in a different city, and a prominent Rav Aaron Yishaya Fish of Hodu, represent the Chassan side. Later, the Hadasser Rav remarked that, impressed as he was at Reb Shaila's generosity, he was even more taken away by Reb Shaila's rejoice at the Simcha. He says like this: it was no different than if it was the wedding of his own child, he said with amazement. Meaning the orphan girls that Reb Shaila's represent. Samson, it's so great to see you in Europe, Baruch Hashem. Right, so Samson, we all know Reb Shaila's represent would run
the water.
And she hired orphan girls, right, to run the kitchen. And once one of them became a Kala, and they assumed responsibility for the expenses. And the father-in-law, right, who's a prominent Rav, saw the way Reb Shaila not only taking care of the Kala, right, like it was his own child, but the way he danced at the wedding, Mamesh, was the highest of the high. And that's the way we're supposed to act with all of our brothers and sisters in the world, right? There was just a wedding last night in the community in Herzliya, Baruch Hashem, and the whole community was invited, or most. And the way the Chevra were dancing, Mamash, it was like it was their brother. It was like it was their brother and sister. It was the sweetest, highest, most special wedding in the world. And they gave Gavaldik brachas afterwards. But Chevra, this is the way we're supposed to be. This is the way we're supposed to be. Treat everyone like our brothers. Love everybody like we love ourselves. Bezrat Hashem, Samson, flip the camera. Show us what's going on. Enough with this. We gotta see. Enough with my background, my fake background. We need your background. You're the real background. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ma Rabu Masecha Hashem.
I tell you, my friends, as I sit here on this river here in the countryside of Austria, we have to realize as we come out of Tisha B'Av and we're yearning towards Yerushalayim ever more. The truth is that now is the time to prepare for the wedding. We all know, as the story just explained of the Chassan and the Kala, we all know that the Jewish people are going to marry Hashem this coming Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and Sukkot. And now is the time for preparation. Now is not the time to say, it's summer break, I don't have to care. I can go to Austria, I don't have to have any responsibilities. No, my friends. If going to Austria means you are going to connect back and get ready for the Simcha, Givalt. But it's not a time to slack. It's time to say, I want to prepare myself mentally, physically, emotionally for the bringing of Yerushalayim, the bringing of the wedding. Everyone knows the great preparations of the Kala. For the guy, everyone knows today. The guy before the wedding, 3 hours gag is the whole preparations. Gets up, has a good time in the morning, chills, coffee, tea in the morning, no plachats. He's hanging out. And the girls all day long. The guy can get ready 2 hours before the wedding and be fine. The girl, all day long, months, years in advance, she's prepared. Every single detail, herself, every single emotion that she knows she's going to have. She needs to be ready. Am Yisroel is the Kala. We are the Kala. Oh, if we're men, we're women. It's not the Indian. The Indian is, everyone knows that a Yiddish neshama has a female on a man's side. Every Yiddish neshama, doesn't matter who. We have to get in touch with that point of us that is the Kala and say, okay, I'm ready to prepare. Okay, I have this thing wrong, I have to fix before the wedding. Okay, I have this thing wrong, I have to get better. I have to get this, I have to fix that, I have to fine tune this. And I'm good in this union, I'm good in that union. And by the way, it's not so simple. And it's very simple. Not bad. We have to also realize that we're good at things. To also realize, okay, I'm prepared for this union. I might not be prepared for this one, but I'm prepared for this different one, yeah. B'ezrat Hashem, we should be able to prepare for the bringing of Mashiach here on this river. We're going to mikvah it tomorrow morning. Now, B'ezrat Hashem. Oh, little dog. What? It's so quick.
Rebs.
Give it a fetch.
It's all we needed, Reb Yed. Let's go. I love you, Reb Yed. I love you. Be well. Have fun.